really, really been great. Good weather, all kinds of good things going on. So we have a new theme for the month of April. And our theme for the month of April is spiritual tools. So each week we are going to be focusing on a spiritual tool that can work with us in consciousness so that we will be blessed. So I am inviting all of you to help me welcome our wonderful practitioner, Gary McMillan, who's going to do our treatment this morning. Gary?
Thank you, Reverend Loretta. Wow, now I have to be wonderful. Okay. Thank you. And you know what? If it's true for me, it is true for you. You are wonderful. I am wonderful. Let's all say it. I am wonderful. All right, because I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment, and in keeping with the theme of spiritual tools, spiritual mind treatment is a tool. In order to use a tool, you have to pick it up and have engagement with it. So I'm asking you to take a moment to take a unifying breath, or perhaps sit up straight in your seat, or perhaps touch your heart with your hand. Something that indicates that you are picking up this spiritual tool, because this treatment is for you, Patricia Rossi, and everyone else. Because I am knowing that there is one life, and that is all the life there is. One life and all the life there is. And that life is whole, complete, and perfect, and that life is my life now. But what? What is it? What is my life now? So I take this breath, I sit up straight, and I put my hand over my heart, because I'm engaging in this tool. That if there is one life, and I believe that there is one life, and that is all the life there is, and that is my life now, I'm asking for whole, complete prosperity, health, happiness. I'm asking the universe to engage and live the spiritual principles of wholeness, completeness, and perfection in my life now. The one life that there is and all the life there is, it is my life now. I claim the manifestations of relationships that are trustworthy and that are loving and reciprocal in the way that is in alignment with spiritual principles. To be more like Spirit, to be more patient, more kind, not demanding my own way. So that is one thing I demand. I ask that Spirit live its life through me in the process of prosperity, to know that prosperity measured on so many levels is all around me and is all the life there is. All the prosperity is available through me in manifestation of my life now. The spiritual principle of lightness and living in a healthy environment and demonstrating health is living in my body now. Every molecule in my body, every molecule of air that enters into my body, to everything that works and interacts inside my body is for the manifestation of perfection, wholeness, and completeness. I am so grateful for an opportunity to come together with my fellow members, fellow godlings, spiritual beings having a human experience. I am grateful to be in your presence today, to speak these words on your behalf, because it is your tool. It is your seat that you're sitting up straight in. It's your breath that you have taken. It is your hand over your heart that makes it so, as you believe it is done unto you. And I am grateful, and I'm grateful to believe these principles, and I release these principles into law. And let anything that is not of the nature of Spirit, that is in wholeness, complete, and perfection, let that be uprooted and just discard and set aside. It is not part of what I'm asking today. I'm asking for these things to be manifest for me. And these words spoken for you, I release with love. For it is in love that all things are possible, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you. that beautiful treatment. We appreciate that. Thank you. And now please help me welcome Emily. She's going to come up and do our reading for us this morning. Emily?
Good morning. Loretta's talk today is on transformation, and my reading is from 365, Science of Mind, and it's called Each New Day is a Fresh Beginning. While there is a place that dwells in eternal stillness and in action in the innermost recesses of our soul, there is also a place at the circumference of our being that, animated by the inner spirit, goes forth to accomplish. If we will take time daily to sense this presence, believe in it, and accept it, before long, the life we have known until now will gradually disappear. Something new and wonderful will be born, a bigger, better, and more perfect life. We will pass from sadness into happiness, from lack and want into greater freedom, and from fear into assurance. Through the continual emergence of the creative principle, any last finality proves to be but the beginning of a new creative series. This eternal spiral, finding its base in the everlasting reality, will never cease to emerge. Our increased awareness of spiritual truths will make each day a fresh beginning, a new approach to reality, a spiritual adventure arising from and new from the original creative principle active within us. I enjoy my present experiences and joyously anticipate each day's increasing good. Opening my heart and mind, I allow the creative action of God to express through me, aware that as my capacity to accept good expands, I become a blessing both to myself and to the world in which I live. I rejoice at the greater possibilities of my future unfoldment. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for that wonderful reading. Okay, so we have our announcements right now, and the class continues, the 5 Gifts of an Abundant Life today. And also, I don't think there's going to be a class this Wednesday night, just for one night throughout the month. I think this Wednesday we will not have a class at the Unitarian Center, and we'll send an email blast out to everyone indicating that, okay? We will be having a group treatment today for everyone, so after service we will still be doing that. So if you need a treatment for any of the 4 areas of life, the group treatment will be available to you today after the service. And my talk today is on the spiritual tool of transformation, which is really about springtime, renewal. Okay, speaking of renewal, please help me welcome our wonderful Yoichi, our musician today. Yoichi? for that. Really, really beautiful. Thank you. So, our spiritual tool for today is transformation. So we think about the power of transformative kinds of acts that we are doing each and every day. That's what I'm going to be speaking to you about today. The power of transformation, when I think of it, I think of these words: be renewed by the transforming of your mind. So how many of you have heard those words? Yes, most of you. So be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what we do here. That's what we practice. We practice renewal. And sometimes the days go on, and as we're practicing renewal, we get a little bit challenged and we say, well, maybe I'm not going to practice today. Right? Anybody do that? I do that. We all do that. But the problem is with that is that we miss an opportunity sometimes, but rather than being punitive, we can just gently correct ourselves and come back into this spiritual idea of renewal. We are renewing our consciousness, and we renew our consciousness through 5 different areas of our lives, and I'm going to speak to you about them today. So there are 5 different things that we can do to renew ourselves, regenerate ourselves. And is everybody ready in here for springtime? Yes. Yes, definitely. Spring is always a time of renewal, nature, flowers blossoming. I love the idea of renewal. And that's really what I'm speaking about. It's a tool that we can use each and every day to renew our consciousness, because our consciousness is something that can bless us, uplift us, and inspire us. So, if we begin our lesson today, we are looking at the 5 steps to transformation. We are looking at something that I call, the word is oneness. Oneness. That's the first step. Dr. Grayson wrote a collected essays book many years ago, and he spoke about oneness. There was a whole chapter on it. And it was very, very beautiful, because what he's really expressing in that is that when we are at one with the divine, that power and that presence for good in the universe, when we are at one with it, when we are accepting it and not fighting it, not resisting it or rejecting it, we are at one. There is a true oneness within us. There is a power that is unconditioned. The power gets conditioned by who? Us. Yes. We condition the power. Did you hear that? We are conditioning that power, and we must let go of our outer conditions. We must let go of the thought processes that bring us into negation. And as a result of doing that, we become one with this power and presence for good, which is always omnipresent, everywhere evenly present. It's present in each and every one of us. It's present in me, all of us together. We are unified this morning as part of the collective consciousness. But we are really operating out of the one mind, the one power, and the one presence. So when we practice oneness, we are saying yes to the life divine. We are saying, yes, I am renewed, I am strengthened, and I am blessed. And whatever you say after I am becomes your experience. So if you say that I am blessed, I am uplifted and inspired, that is your experience. That is how you get this transformation. You see, the one thing about thinking is that it's free, right? So you can't fight with the idea, well, I can't do it, it's too expensive. A lot of us do that. It's not expensive at all. It's something that each and every one of us can do each and every day. There's no money involved in it. We can just say, I am transformed by the renewing of my mind. My mind and God's mind are one mind. Let's say that together. My mind and God's mind are one mind. So you are at one with it, this oneness, this area of life where you are saying yes to the spirit of life that indwells you. That is the first step in transformation. The oneness, the aspect of being at one with. Now, the more that you awaken to this idea, the more good you have in your life. It's like practicing gratitude, being grateful. The more that you are grateful for, the more you will have to be grateful for. you see? Gratitude. You're experiencing gratitude. There's always a gift in something for you. It's the same thing with oneness. Being at one with this power transforms our consciousness because we are not alone. We are not alone. I always share with people that we started this together as a community over 10 years ago now, and I always used to say we started with nothing. But as I've grown and as I've learned, I know that we started with something, and that something was the divine S. That is that divine S which operates for you, through you, and as you right now. And the more that you get familiar with it, the more that you work with this idea of oneness, the more that you begin to come into this experience of goodness, of wholeness, of harmony, of peace. Those are the ideas that begin to resonate with you in consciousness. So oneness is being at one with the one. The second one is clarity. I love this word. To me, clarity is very, very important because you are clearing your consciousness. I was sharing with someone this morning, we were speaking about the consciousness of the race. We're all in the race. It's not a race where you're running. It's called race consciousness. And we all live in it, and we move in it. And so we have to cleanse our consciousness so that we can be clear about what we are doing and how we are feeling. If you're thinking about your health, and someone tells you that something's going to happen to you over the next month or two in a negative way, and you begin to believe and accept that, that is what you demonstrate. But when you get clear and you come back to yourself and you get aligned with this power and presence and you say, there is no truth to that. I am a part of the divine. I am clear about that. I am clear about my health and well-being. And I know that every cell, muscle, tissue, organ, and activity of my physical body is aligned with this divine power. And this power is transforming my consciousness so that I am open and receptive to the divine within me. Does everyone see that? Does that sound better than someone telling you this, that, or the other thing will happen to you? So clarity is so important as a step in transformation. Getting clear, and it's the same thing with money. You know, I keep going over this as an idea. I know I've told you this before, but I have to share it again because it's so important. It's very valuable. Getting clear about what you desire to have. If you sit in this audience and you listen to me, thank you, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. However, I would also like you to go home and do the work. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I've said to you, I sat and listened to Dr. Grayson, and I was very fascinated by him. He was probably the best teacher I've ever had in my life, bar none. I have to say that. I'm very clear about that, very clear. However, I didn't practice for a very long time. He used to give me all kinds of ideas and things to do, and I did not practice. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, the difference in listening and practicing is astounding, absolutely astounding. When you begin to practice these principles, when you begin to do these things for yourself, getting clear, knowing what you would like to have, and letting go of the outer conditions, the resistance, that's what I call that. The outer conditions are the resistance, the rejection, the rebellion. Letting go of those so that you are clear about what it is that you would like to have. It's almost like your life is like a weather forecaster, only you're the forecaster, you see? You forecast your own weather if you think about it. You are the one that tells yourself every day, today will be a great day, I am going to work, I'm going to do well, I have good health, all of those kinds of things. Clarity. Release the old idea, and I did this in the beginning of the year about money, and things have began to change with me because I got a new idea about money. Maybe for you it's trust. I don't know why this word is coming through me because it wasn't part of what I was going to say. But the word trust, how does that make you feel? You know, we're living in a society now where it's not so easy to trust. Did you ever notice that? I did, yeah. But you're trusting this power. You're trusting this presence within you to guide you, to be there for you, to direct your life experience. That is really getting clear about something. And I discovered something this week because I worked on an old idea about money, and then I got a new idea, and that's what I've been working with. But I also have to do that with something else. I have to let go of an old idea that I have, and I have to begin to change it, to work with a new idea. Can anyone identify with that? Yes? So maybe for you, it might be trust. Maybe you need to learn how to trust the power within you and to undo whatever the workings are that have held you back from really doing what you'd like to do. Maybe it's trust or faith. Whatever it is for you, you write down the old idea, get clear about the new idea, and work with that new idea. Money's very popular. Sometimes it's relationships. They can be very challenging. Yes? So the old idea, the new idea, it works for any area of your life, okay? And if you have a challenging day, this person I was speaking with this morning has worked out in race consciousness and heard all kinds of things of negation, negativity. You come home and you release that from your consciousness. And you ask the power and the presence within you to give you the peace of mind, to give you the qualities of life, the love, all of the good things that you so deserve, the blessings that you deserve, all of those. That's what you do with clarity. Being clear means that you are not being influenced by outside events or conditions. When you get clear, you don't let the outside events influence you. You get a clarity. I used to say, you take a shower every day. You shower your body. You need to shower your consciousness. It's very important. You are cleansing your consciousness, letting go of those ideas that you've been holding on to, you see? And when you are clear in consciousness, that is when the transformation begins. The renewal begins. Just like the seasons are changing, we are changing all of the time. I know that we're developing new cells and tissues and muscles and all of that kind of thing. I can't tell you what that is. I don't really know. I'm not a doctor. But they say that every such and such amount of time you get a lot of new cells, new energy, and all of that. See? So what are you telling yourself about your health? Get clear about that. Get some clarity about your health and well-being. If you have the condition or the appearance of high blood pressure, and you keep reinforcing that, how do you reinforce it? You're not clear. You keep telling yourself over and over again, I have high blood pressure. I have high. If you keep saying that to yourself, guess what? The universe says you have high blood pressure. So what else do you want to be right about? See? So that is clarity. We are getting clear about something. We are getting that energy of clarity. And then we go to number 3. And 3 is the stillness. Allowing yourself to go into the stillness, to listen to that still, small voice. It's known as a practice. It's known as meditation. You see? When you meditate, when you pray, when you go into the silence, you can listen and you can hear that small voice, that still small voice that they speak about in the Bible. The still small voice is guiding you and directing your life and your consciousness. When you're clear, when you're at peace, when you go into the stillness, you allow yourself to be guided. I love what Reverend Michael Beckwith says about that. He says, allow spirit to have its way with you. And that's really a part of being in the quietness, being with the consciousness of spirit, so that your consciousness is with spirit. You are at one with this spirit, which is evolving and bringing you greater joy and peace of mind. That is number 3. We have oneness, we have clarity, and we have stillness going within. Spending some time with yourself. You know, you may tell yourself, you know what, maybe some people have said this, I don't really like myself. But the way to get to like yourself is to get to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, then you really don't have any opinion about yourself. But you get to know yourself by being quiet. There's a voice that will come through you. Doesn't mean that you're crazy. It means that you are allowing the spirit, as Reverend Michael says, to have its way with you. You are surrendering. You know, someone called me up this week and started, all this chatter and all this stuff, and I said, the idea of surrender is so powerful. when you let go and just go into the stillness, there is a part of us that wants us to be happy and blessed and at peace with ourselves. And we have to learn how to listen. We have to learn to go into that stillness and get quiet. So that is the next one. And then the one after that, and I love this one, it's choices. I wrote choices down. When you are divinely guided, when you are asking for and receiving divine guidance, then you are making better choices, you see? All of us have sometimes a challenge with choices. Anybody ever have one of those problems, or is it just me? So we're making the right choices, right? Choice is everything in your life. What are you choosing to do for yourself on a daily basis? What are you choosing to be committed to? What does a commitment mean to you? Does it mean nothing? Is it just words? Or do you truly choose to be committed to your health and well-being? Do you truly choose to be committed to your financial well-being? The words well-being work in every area of our lives. Your relationship with yourself. Your relationship with yourself comes from all of these things. It comes out of the oneness. It comes out of the stillness and the clarity. And it comes out of your choice. So many people say, and I used to be one of them, I would say it all the time, I don't have time to meditate. How many people in here think they don't have time to meditate? Be honest. If you're honest, okay, a few of you. So if you wake up 10 minutes earlier in the morning so that you can calm your mind and go into the stillness, maybe you could do that for yourself. That's caring, that's self-care, that's self-love. Maybe you can do that for yourself. Wake up a little bit earlier in the morning or find some time during the day to get quiet with yourself, to go within. That's a choice that you make. That is a choice that you make. I tell my story, I taught a meditation class in Montclair about a month ago. I had 40 people in the class and I shared my story about meditation. 7 years of my life went by because I was going to get up at 4 in the morning, have the little fringy thing, and have the gong bell, and have the people from India coming around and helping me out with my meditation. 7 years. And one day I woke up and I said, Loretta, 7 years ago you started saying these things. Does anybody else have this experience, or is it just me? Yeah? So what I'm telling you is, make a choice to be for yourself. Make a choice to do something, even if it's only 5 minutes. I didn't have that bell. I didn't have that little stool. I didn't have the bongs or the people from India there. I didn't have any of that. I just started meditating. And I did it every day, and I was in bed when I did it, and now I get up while I do it. So you evolve, but you begin. You see the difference? You make a choice to do something, and then you commit yourself to that choice. And you let go of outer conditions. You know, I can remember so many times when I was younger and I would have these goals and I would get all excited and I would run and tell everybody. And you know what they would tell me? You're not going to be able to do that. You can't do that. Anybody else have that one? Yeah. So whenever we do that, what we are doing is we're looking for somebody else's approval. And guess what? You don't get it sometimes. So when you don't get it, what do? You shut down and you say, they're right, I can't do it. You have to go to spirit with your ideas. You have to go to the spirit, the divine intelligence within you to get your ideas, your creativity, your self-expression, your relationships, everything relies upon the spirit within you. That is the oneness out of which all things grow. Your health and well-being, you see? So you can go to a dentist or a doctor. I can remember going to a dentist and they told me, well, this isn't going to hurt. I said, well, it's not going to hurt you. But I'm the one that goes home with my teeth and my body. They don't go home with my teeth and my body. I do. You see what I'm saying? So that's the point I'm making. You have to get clear. You have to get clear about what it is that you would like to have, and then you have to make the right choices. If I could just give you one thing for today in this class, it would be to make a change this week. to transform your consciousness by spending 5 minutes in prayer or in treatment, or even in doing a reading. Because feeding your consciousness, you are nourishing yourself, you are blessing yourself with right ideas and right information, you see? Or you can watch the news, your choice. For me, I'd rather do my work, my inner work, I really would. I've started watching documentaries on television about rock stars. I love rock stars, they're a lot of fun, and it's so much better than the news. And yes, they partied down and they did a lot of stuff and all, but it's still much better than the news. So I love it. But I really feel that if you make a change, you're the one that makes the change. I've said this before. Go home and devote some time to yourself. And that leads me to the fifth one. And the fifth one is self-love and self-care. So for each and every one of these, self-care is really transforming your consciousness. Transforming your consciousness about anything takes work. We use the word work, but it really can be even joyful work because you are beginning to change your ideas, and as you change your ideas, your conditions begin to change. You can think about a person maybe a long time ago that maybe you didn't like so much, and you worked in consciousness on forgiving them and liking them. We're talking about that in our class, the 5 gifts of an abundant life. And when you forgive someone, you're letting go of all that stuff, and then you begin to renew your relationship. The same thing goes with yourself. Forgive yourself. Let go of anything that you have been holding on to. Release it, neutralize it, and dissolve it through prayer, through practitioner work, and allow yourself to have good self-care and self-love. One of the things I want to do this morning with you is a meditation. I came across, in preparing for this lesson, I came across a wonderful, wonderful letter that I received in a class many years ago, and I want to share it with you this morning. And then we're going to do a meditation based on self-love and self-care. And I think it will be good for each and every one of us. So I want you to think about if you could write a letter to yourself, and you may want to go home and do this exercise. For those of you who aren't going to do it, we'll do it here together. And maybe some of you will take this idea home with you, and you can do this every once in a while because it really will bless you in body, mind, and spirit. That's the intention. The intention for this meditation is that you will provide more self-care and self-love for yourself. So it goes like this. This is the beginning, and then we'll do the meditation. So you think about a letter that you would like to write to yourself, and that letter is coming from Spirit. The letter comes from Spirit. It comes out of the mind of God, and the letter is speaking to each and every one of us. And you are the one that in this letter is able to give yourself something. So whatever your name is, you would say, "Dear," and then you would say what you would like to have. So I want you to think about that. Think about what is it that you would like to have within yourself. What would you give yourself? In other words, I could say, I, Loretta, am now giving myself happiness and joy and health and well-being, good relationships, supportive, loving, financial abundance and well-being. You see, you get the picture now? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a meditation for you, and then I want you through clarity to get clear about what it is that you would say in that letter. And then I want you to just silently and quietly just kind of let the letter flow through you. You'll see what happens. And then after the program is over and after we have our music and everything, maybe some of you will share some of your ideas. So I'm going to turn out the lights, and you can just take a deep breath in and just relax, release, and allow yourself to relax completely. And just follow along with me. Take in a deep breath and just relax your body. Feel your body completely relaxing. Allow yourself to relax, relaxing your head, relaxing your scalp. Feel your face relaxing, your neck and throat relaxing. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Relax your hands and fingers. Relax the trunk of your body. Relax your thighs, your knees, relax your calves and your feet and feel a complete relaxation throughout your body. And now breathe into your body and just allow yourself to say, ah, just let it out. Completely relaxed. And now let's know this truth together. As I speak this word for each and every one of us, I am knowing that the power that is within us is operating for us right now in this moment, blessing, uplifting, and inspiring us, encouraging us to think of a letter that we would write to ourselves. Right ideas and right information comes through each and every person by way of the higher mind, the higher power, the spirit divine. And each and every person now is going to think about, right now in this meditation, a letter. Writing a letter to the self, a letter that creates self-love and self-care. So let's take a few moments now and think of what that letter would say to you. This is yours. And now take a few moments to wind up your letter. Now sign your letter with love. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Are we back? Beautiful exercise. You can do this at home. You can write a letter to yourself in a journal and just begin to work with new ideas for yourself, giving yourself blessings, benefits, joy, inspiration, and peace. So we have a few minutes if anyone would like to share, maybe one or two people, if you'd like to share your experience. Anyone? Yes, John.
about that, and that it's your oneness with your own mind, which is the creative God, whatever you want to call that. It is now the gift of going forward. And I don't know if that's vague or unclear, but it was just
Yeah.
living inside of your own thought rather than the thought of the outside of other people.
I get it. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Thank you for that, John. Thank you. So becoming mindful is really, you're becoming mindful, which is good. So this letter experience, though, is so good. I mean, you can use this for any kind of situation that you may have where you want to go within and give yourself new ideas, bless yourself, inspire yourself. So I kind of felt like I was giving myself more self-care in the form of commitment. That was the word that kept coming through me all the time, being committed to what I am doing. I feel like I am very committed to this work, but being more committed in other certain areas of my life to doing things in a different way. So commitment is what came through. You can share this with each other, but this is really, I think, a beautiful lesson and a beautiful experience for each and every one of us to share. I love teaching, and I love speaking, but I also love experience, because the experience of something is worth so much to each and every one of us. And every one of you had your own experience. So this takes me to Tom Johnson, who was a minister, who said, you always are your own experience. And I love that, yeah. So with that, our lesson is ending, and thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. So we have our group treatment today, and you also have the Medicine Voice flyer. Please tell your friends about this. This promises to be an incredible Sunday for all of us. So let's do our offering affirmation together, and let's have our offering. Turn these to the back of the room when you're done with them. At the end of the month, you may take them home, the inserts, but we still need them. Thank you. Please help me welcome our wonderful guest artist, Yoichi. Yoichi, the magic of Yoichi. Yes, yes. So does anyone want to share anything at all now? We have a time for sharing. Anybody want to share, Pam?